Alright peeps, thought I'd do something a little different. Give you a little peek behind the curtain today. Going down to a flip house down in the city that we're working on so I can show you some of the progress and chat at you for a bit. So, let's go. Well, it's a Saturday. I get asked a lot about what my days usually look like because it always seems like I'm just kind of chilling. So on this Saturday I'm running down to a house here in the Kansas City area that a friend reached out and he says, look, I got a house, needs a lot of work, I need to stick it back on the market, I need to get rid of it, and will you help me? So you have to back up about 20 years. So 20 years ago I was in college at K-State University, and I was getting a biology degree, believe it or not. Learned how to run a painting company, and it just kind of spiraled from there. It was 18 years of being in the painting and doing a lot of like different construction work and building things that I kind of learned this whole trade.
Red light camera ahead.
And the crazy part is I never, if you would have asked me when I was in my 20s if that was what I was going to do, probably would have told you no. But being an entrepreneur and learning that every single day you wake up broke. Every day. Every day you wake up broke. And I have this term I always use. I said, you need to get up and go flip some rocks. And I never really explained where flipping rocks came from. But it was like, when I was a kid, my brother and I used to run out to the woods and we'd go crawdad fishing. So you'd head out into the creek, and you were a little intimidated because if you got one of those big ones, you'd have to flip the rocks over to find out what you were going to find. And it was always exciting, it was always exhilarating. Sometimes you would go and not find anything. Sometimes you'd go and find those big crawdads, and you'd catch a lot of little ones. But in my head, I always remember back to those days of flipping rocks, even though it was going to be not fruitful, and you were just in the moment and enjoying that. And so I think having that mindset as I grew up, flipping rocks was, hey, I need $1,000 today. I got to go flip some rocks. I got to go turn some things over. I've got to go make it happen. It just, nobody's just going to stroke me a check for, you know, fun. So, and working for other people, man, just never was my cup of tea. So I had to learn how to flip rocks. So I look at all kinds of different opportunities. And so as I've gotten older, I've learned how to make residual money, and I just don't turn down opportunities. I look at different ways to make money. So that's my secret. So we're pulling up to this house. We're gonna meet Pedro. I don't know Pedro. I flipped rocks and spent probably 45 minutes on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and I needed some tile work done in this house. And I just crafted a simple text, and I cranked it out to probably 40 people. And as the bids came in, I would be like, no, I ain't paying that. No, you're crazy. No. And then finally, Pedro's ad was actually all in Spanish. Could not read it. So the funny thing is you can hit Google Translate on anything. So I read his ad. I was like, seems like a solid dude. Works on the weekends. And so I reached out to Pedro, said, you willing to do this? He's like, absolutely. And so we're going to go in. I've never met Pedro. I let him into this flip house, and he's supposed to be tiling a small bathroom in here. And this house has been a challenge, to say the least. So with that being said, we'll kind of go through some other thoughts. But are you flipping rocks today? Let's go meet Pedro. Pedro!
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Todd.
My name is Pedro.
I make videos and stuff, so don't mind me.
Good.
How's it going?
Good. I'm very busy in there.
The wall's crooked.
Yeah, do you see? Is the, you tell me like,
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. The house is...
it's more this side. Yeah. So, my question is, do you want to a little fixing a little straight, or I can put it to the wall working?
Since the whole thing is like, the whole house is tilted like this, that there's no, you're gonna have to just do it like that. There's no way you'll get it straight.
Okay, because the same here.
See?
Same here.
Yep.
So I can working like this.
Yeah, you can do that.
And here.
And cheat that way.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll fix.
Yeah, but the problem is the level. This is good for here.
See? Okay.
For here is fine, but all is a little piece.
Yeah, that's okay.
I need to cut a lot.
Okay. Well then, if it needs to be a little more money, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here is fine. Oh no, we need to cut.
Alright, so we originally started this house probably, it's a little over 2 months ago. Ran into a snag because like Pedro was saying, the floor tilts way down. Like there's a slope drop off by almost 2 inches in this back wall. And we originally they had the kitchen in this back porch area. We took all the cabinets out of here. We're gonna leave this for storage for whoever buys the house, and we're putting the kitchen back to where it was originally, which was on this side. So we have granite coming and starting to tile in the backsplash. The rooms themselves were absolutely horrible. This was the red room, and we had to redo all the ceilings, texture, change the lights out. So now we're to clean up and finishing all the details. Doors were ripped off, so we have to redo doors. So it's been quite the experience, to say the least. So as my kids got older, I wanted to have the opportunity to take them places. In the construction world and the things that I were doing, we weren't able to. I was always hustling in the summertime, because summer is when you made all your money, right? So that seemed to be the time I hustled the most. And I was like, the kids are getting older and older, and I was like, man, I just want to build memories with them. I want to go places, I want to do things. Because as I grew, let me sit down here. So as they grew, I didn't ever want that memory to be that Dad always worked, Dad was always gone, Dad was hustling so hard that he cared more about making that money before, hanging out with us. So we started looking into opportunities to travel and to see the world and take the kids and build memories. And I stumbled into something is what happened. And the company had a great program, and it was more like a subscription model for, say, I don't know, like Netflix, where you pay a monthly and you get benefits from it. But it was for vacations. And I was like, we could at least use this and build some sort of, go on some trips. Hey, Pedro. We ended up booking a couple trips to Mexico, and we had never been to Mexico. My wife and I had been married about, I want to say close to 12, 13 years by that time. We had a great experience, and then from there we just started going on more and more trips with the kids. It was awesome. I have to admit, it was some of the best memories starting right out of the box. And then it just spiraled and continued to go. So now for about 9 years, I continued to go on vacations, and then what happened was we started making money. We started using that money in other areas, and then slowly I got burnt out in the painting world and construction world, so I pretty much just shut that down, and we started vacationing. We diversified some things. My wife works in our church, and then I turned around and was like, my buddy calls me and he's like, hey Todd, I need to start a roofing company. And I had experience on it from a prior project I was working on. And so he finally convinced me after about 3 months to help start a roofing company. And so we are partnered in that now for the last 4 or 5 years. So when I say flipping rocks, when I wake up, nobody's writing me a check. Everything we've done versus vacation stuff, we get paid every single month. That's called residual money. That's called making money while you sleep. That's the stuff that nobody teaches in high school. You have to learn how to make money while you sleep. There's so many 40, 50, 60-year-olds that have never figured that out. And quite honestly, if I wouldn't have stumbled into it, it's probably something I would have never figured out. So now I'm kind of passionate about trying to help people do that and build those memories with those they love. And on top of that, you never turn down an opportunity. So I can still use my gifts, abilities, and skills to do projects like this when I get the phone call, because I'm not afraid to work with different contractors. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, how can I do that? Well, you have to find something that you might feel passionate about, or maybe go work for somebody for a little bit to see if that niche fits you, and then learn all you can. I tell this to all my kids. You learn all you can, you keep your mouth shut, you keep your head down, you be the best employee you possibly can, you ask a ton of questions, and you kind of almost play a little simplified than what you really are, dumbified a little bit. Because that way you can ask a lot of questions. The owners, the managers, they'll divulge all that information to you, and then when the timing's right, when the day is right, you rise up and you say, I'm gonna do my own thing, and you start a company and just jump into it. That's, my grandfather taught me that, and I think it's some of the best advice, is you be the best you can at your job, and then when the time is right, you rise up and you start your own thing. So does that mean college is needed? Absolutely. In some instances, you have to learn how to do your books. You have to maybe hire an accountant. There's qualities there that you need. You might learn how to do your job, or learn how to do the work that you were, learned how to do. But there's the backside of the accounting and all this other stuff that could really frustrate you through time. I don't know. I just thought I'd give you a peek behind the curtain today, because a lot of times we watch all these videos on YouTube and I make all this money, I do all these things, follow me. No, you follow people that are actually doing something in life. Don't follow the hustlers that are learning to be great marketers and great closers, and I can make you $10,000 sitting at home in your underwear while you're watching TV and you're just posting ads on Facebook. It doesn't work that way. In the real world, it doesn't work that way. You have to get out, you have to get dirty, you have to be in uncomfortable places of the city, or you have to be in uncomfortable meetings that you never thought you would be sitting in. You have to go to networking events, and it's just, you have to get uncomfortable a little bit, build some relationships. And yeah, there's times where I don't want to go out. I want to just sit in and be a hermit and not talk to anyone. But in the long run, I've always been a professional rock flipper. Yeah. Any of you country folk, you really understand what I'm saying there. I was the city mouse, my brother was the country mouse. I enjoyed the city elements. My brother still lives in the country. And if you watch the video where we blew up a car for my mom because she has cancer, you'll understand our differences. So yeah, look for that video where we blew up a car. I'll probably post it on here, because that was an incredible, I've never blown up a car with tannerite, and that is, the impact is crazy. So enjoy that video too. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's little touch base and a little peek behind the curtain. So shout out to you later.